early in Kessben now, and is a header from Antis the Nascimento. This one, Chairman.
Dumienu 12 o'clock. And you sorry Jumediani so. Local stories awudo amana nsema awudo ni abobo na yedeba channel so betema enjoy Jumediano ewo Facebook eye Kessben television sanso na YouTube so Kessben television obetema hwe Midfield Jumediano enso ewo ho o TV no eye digital o multi television decoder and also benya Kessben television and so ewo so anasa DSTV decoder no number no eye channel 364 Go TV so eye 173 agudi munsam ani abobo na no pay yede eba amana ni nsama do toni muntana betrase wodere nyina de bebre yen Premier League matches awudo ne baso no one game etimi baso wode munsu sanso e de bebre yen eno kodanche the biggest news ekoso aye Cristiano Ronaldo wakwakopiemu ewo Saudi Arabia ohone bia ya Ronaldo akwakopie enwonsem bebre na aba betodwa eno kodanche the world Pele goat to say sabra make say eye no ekoso dendenden eno na FIFA president akwakopiemu nipa wudo football people wamakwakopiemu ewo Brazil womo ekwakoboam Emma aye world Pele eye no enso aba na wie yensem bebre ebefrimu enso de aba no ni other foreign news eni abobo na ye de bremo ewo dwumedie so sene so se Ghana Premier League no eno so ekoso den and one game etimi koso house coach Matic when the first defeat ewo aye Ghana Premier League no ye bewrem sanso na se akwa concern about attendance no what is the problem is saying and a namso Emma say no attendance no akofom FA Cup no draw no baso and players no be a transfer window no movement awudrom and so koso we kwa ha ye deni nyina de bebromo dwumedie so betima send message awudro e de aba number no 0551 599933 0551 599933 this year then I'm expecting say Kessben Sports yebeye ede amount ye de bewrem na moni enso age obetima send de aba 0551599933 dumienu ba na afie de dwumedie no aba na wieye Montana di Tony
Oheneba afishiapa
afi komatue afi sesane won kwa wa hoden
Nyame tumi nti
ahoden no ne hia yes ahoden no ne hia na Ronaldo akoduru sese mpempe so
TV station se pese cover the presentation in live no kwame anodin
omo pese omo ye den
omo yi ni live
say yeah
on very Ronaldo no omo pese omo yi ni live te say be a Kessben TV e pese yi e wo TV so mu bie hwebi kwame nye easy omo ko hu
Ronaldo abi anim sa aba na wieye
kwame jai and now Saudi Arabia Riyadh
hobede
na ni Jesus omo ton over 48 hours no more ton 200,000 copies
200,000 wow ngofo ni sika no mutua ne o metika no
kwame e absurd e sika no den
but metika no
173 million pounds a year
ish
1 year
na me share breakdown every second bia Ronaldo nya $383 1 second bia
1 second ke
383 na Ronaldo enya 1 second bia anti fane se dollar no kura aye 12 1 second bia Ronaldo nya over 35 million 1 second bia
second back bia
35 million what's Ronaldo
5 na dey che no kwam ye pe de ade den
enye easy
dey train no cry dey of anye na 5 na dey chiri keke no 5 no masa kwam ye cash cow now say major league na be 6 say ye wo England Spain Germany Italy France and Saudi
Arabia say do bia be kwa ko pe Saudi Arabia league di bia hwe na me kan baby minim so hunya Vincent Abubakar wakika nsemi
hwe Abubakar so otwen Ronaldo na onu so she goal no said ye France ni si to Ronaldo no our stadium ho no enye easy Abubakar na ashe go omo Ronaldo this the entire game Ronaldo nko and no vele ne baso
okay ye nante
me da sipe Oheneba ye metie for na for official pa na ye nsama ekoso onkofo kroso ye bekọ am tennis what they be shall say at the free yanko the world of tennis Novak Djokovic abekai last year tennis jumedi course so Australia because of vaccine jab na on take COVID-19 pani no nyanwo into the tournament no mama na nko owura krom ho omo 80% the ban eto no so say so am lift bibia na no na Novak Djokovic so ohenim say this year Australian Open e be so kama na ne modern mono abibia ko we so ani this year say e be san so aso ani pa yenti Novak Djokovic.
As I was saying, it's a country where I've had tremendous success in my career, particularly in Melbourne. By far my most successful Grand Slam, won it 9 times, and Adelaide, as I said, 15 years ago, was one of the first professional tournaments that I won. So, I always felt great in Australia. I always, played my best tennis, received a lot of support. So hopefully, I can have another great summer.
Way and some Novak Djokovic, the tennis star, Eddie Asuja, head of Australian Open, Kwame Basso, then the young ram, our kickboxing. Now, Dana White, UFC, kickboxing president. Now, video be babon, not just only wife, AP New Year Eve, no, na any zikra, Mexico, Omoko club will be, na New Year's Eve, no. And Dana White was showing it out soon. Nene didn't come born, as soon as a reply, you don't know the UFC one, you know, night club on. Video no new show our Kessben Casafone so now no per year Dana White a video e dia chopper e ma wiasa fo no nyina say want to and justify dentia obone yere na de si ani entwa yikra yentie Dana White UFC president.
Well, I'm in Cabo, Mexico, for the holidays with my family, and my wife and I were out Saturday night on New Year's Eve, and unfortunately, that's what happened.
We and some other White editor. Any other video incident see and yes so our Kessben and Casafone so still about boxing Tyson Fury any Olezada was second talk on air bustle now according to promoters said their Frank Warren Edmund Tintimbino omo patch man bought no we are only 2 months away. First week of March, the Natchez about in Airbus Saudi Arabia. And when attention now, Ronaldo or Kwakubo when the ball was Saudi Arabia. Sabat going to likely said Ebeko Jeddah. Now Saudi Arabia for a host to Sabat here. Yeah, can want some Tyson Fury any Alexander U6 now Sabat where the Henry about about get to Accra. Yanko I'm so can yanko and Liverpool gamer. Elusu Liverpool Edincho. Now down as I said you be able to because chances there or Jinaye or Rane na born be caninsa no jina pon anymore na down in nest why near my basa anti game across the enra or say a sitter and no be a adwene ho a omo entiase game the Liverpool elusu by 3-1 and Robertson a left back Emma Liverpool see new year we there na you say na no pese almost start no a bad start Emma Liverpool yenti Andy Robertson.
Start the new year. Yeah, hugely disappointing. First half nowhere near good enough. Everything we worked on we never done. They were first to second balls. We gave away cheap set pieces. We knew they were a set piece team, really good at corners, makes it really difficult and improving, and we have to be so much more aggressive in the air, so much more aggressive when the ball comes into the box, and unfortunately we didn't do that. You find yourself 2-0 down at half time against a good team, a team that believe in what they're doing, full of heart, full of desire. Second half we came out, we tried, obviously got a goal that got chopped off, and it gave
Andy Robertson left back Emma Liverpool was the first half no there normal far from good normal one na from pa and no can be Nema game no Ejom lose by 3-1. Michael Owen or a former Liverpool player wabo am a Newcastle Man United and reminded the princess or a pandit and as I say top 4 no a den I'm a Liverpool no Newcastle Liverpool finishing the top 4 say there ayehupa yenti Michael Owen.
The show saying that I fancy Liverpool to get into the top 4. After today, it's a little bit of a worry, but I still think that one of the 4 best teams in the
But consistency is the word he used.
The consistency. There. And the worst thing is, after 16 games for Liverpool now, they're now out the title race. They can't win the league, really, can they? And that's something that you think Liverpool, after the recent years that they've had, they've always taken it to the wire. They've won it. They've always been up there challenging. And after 16 games, we're all talking, can they get into the top 4? Can they not? It's a real big worry for them. And, that, of course, they're in.
Michael Owen, a former Liverpool, I'm playing in a tenning cannon. Or the league, over Liverpool, I'm doing some Bergino, because league wing. A bad dream pass of Liverpool be a modern now betting Aberdeen name was say top 4 lumpo now quite dicey before the season or Castle Liverpool finishing the top 4. So say the quack whining and Liverpool top 4 lumpo almost empty and Bonenra. First half Liverpool air 3 stops including Van Dijk. Van Dijk second half no game never resume that is on Caho na club say a pra a buy na additional 2 in or the enchechemu mine on Sabsa Liverpool air Enra Yente club manager Emma Liverpool.
Both not, hopefully. So it's like Virgil felt a little bit the muscle, and but that is fine. And he's a very good judge of these kind of things. But I didn't want to take any risk. The physios looked quite happy when I said we don't take risks. So, but I think it's not an injury. It's just felt intensity. Yeah, and the other 2 things were tactical. We obviously had the opportunities. We could bring Naby, who I think played a really good game, and Robbo, was with
Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp and he can on the south side. Liverpool, during recess, halftime, still Liverpool for and winning game a team course so and then about 7:45 Arsenal league leaders ball against Newcastle. Nano and Edin Katia or form pa Mikel Arteta and our pre-match conference or boy Edin Katia basso Modema so far Gabriel Jesus a prior when you not start and so far the mono Enra coach Arteta ebo Edin Katia basso pa.
A very good team. Again, really well coached. I think what Eddie's done in that short period of time, you look at the numbers, incredible, big credit to him and the coaching staff. And then they have created, I believe, a momentum around the team that they play the same way against any opponent. So tomorrow or this evening we'll start to prepare that game, and it's going to be another big test. But we will play at home in front of our crowd, and looking forward to it.
If you win on Tuesday,
we Brighton game no Heno Hons and Samuel Kine Edifa and the Newcastle game all but Eddie Howe Basso Eddie Howe so coach what transform Newcastle or club no afterwards no they didn't get here and be so or bought Edward Katia Abaso now Nick Pop goalkeeper them Emma Newcastle or see game way a gamer and no bad because game way ebe champion Pensua Newcastle person finishing the top 4 how far make me ako Nick Pop goalkeeper Emma Newcastle Kasai.
Why you want to be in the Premier League, you know, but the big games away from home, you know, going to top of the table, and you know they're in a good run of form, and you know we're looking like ourselves. So yeah, a game to look forward to, and you know as a football player, you know night game as well. I think that's always a different sort of atmosphere. So yeah, looking forward to it. I think you know a game exciting to watch these 2 teams or be part of the 2 teams.
Newcastle United goalkeeper Nick Pope any attending Kano. Na Yengwem our Dortmund so Sebastian Heller Ivory Coast I'm a striker no. Good news some day any arte since July Okoye surgery no team M ball say we started training at the Ama Dortmund omo a club no na Okonya testicular tumor no Okoye surgery kama and no hit gym on the Dortmund aid training now or the short message about Bonte or do bia as Yente Sebastian Heller.
Hello guys, I'm finally back. Hello guys, I'm finally back. Was not that easy, but with your support was better and easier to do. So I'm just looking forward to see you in the stadium for some victories.
We a former Ayas, almost strike a tournament Dortmund no Omanya so far so be what about Dortmund for tournament almost said that any so you be a name player no ekoye surgery afi ene watimi recover on the Dortmund team start here mo so air prepare den na yenwam e Riyadh Saudi Arabia ene na zero ni unveiling eba so na anapaya still nkofo so a omo to Ronaldo jerseys no jersey number 7 and was some pig ana eba na ene 4 p.m. and a presentation eba so na nipa over 35,000 here so betimi aba stadium ho na omo aton take it abema okwan ma so timi aba arena ho abehwe Ronaldo ni unveiling na fans ni guso a omo ehwe se Ronaldo betimi aba enti stadium ho ana omo tonyom ama Ronaldo yenko na yenti kakra bi 173 million pounds a year no any sika Ronaldo origin afibia enye sika keto akrenti ene na zero ni unveiling no eno so eba so ene na legendary Pele so ye penny crabre enra ene enra chi chese aye no eguso ekoso dendenden e was Santos or Brazil nti ene na the legendary Pele so ye be kata na chi krakra no pa ye de mun sensempi e de eba yen call transfers Yao Felix Alekuma the player no unim say omo equal around 13.25 million pounds say oye team na ope Yao Felix on loan na sika we no also timitua 13.25 million pounds. My United bidder omo ne kwa na say around and do even half of sika let money for equal to Arsenal for ameki enquire so Yao Felix omo enso epe na Milan screen still on Inter Milan come twetwe no akwa bibia wo ho because player nem percent oberu extend the contract with Inter PSG Aberford player no the contract no summer year na January mu die say Inter for Antonio na the contract you wa or call for free enti window no open ama Inter for omo esro pa AC Milan omo darling boy Rafael Leao say Chelsea for munyi money because two parties no enya agree ama Rafael Leao or agree say obe extend the contract no abo e de ama Milan ti Chelsea the money koto so say de ade no ayeka Enzo Fernandez World Cup winner young best player of the tournament no Chelsea epeno na sika ohia am the club Benfica equal to around 112 million pounds 112 million pounds we and sika Benfica for equal to say Chelsea any abrea first sika no emra ebeto just Moreno betim akoko Portugal our national team because Fernandez Santos no obia enyamba yebisa Roma penny for special director Thiago Pinto say enokre say Jose akwa Portugal national team no and also Debbie expect say Jose because I many as coach Emma Roma a football club ninti we dey esobia anyhow Lucas Moura Tottenham striker no say dey okwa Brazil be to just say Sao Paulo for any Tottenham edin komo ehwemu kyerese enya ade a enkomo twetwe bia ekos nti player no January obeste no abon the ball no tribia summer na we free club no enso etim akọ Atletico Madrid epe Kagla Soyuncu in January year and Leicester City omo defender na Atletico Madrid omani abra omo enso epe afei ene enkomo twetwe no ahyase a Kagla Soyuncu defender no ATM omo enso epe Kasper Dolberg nso a complete mover okwakobo edi ama TSG Hoffenheim just number 19 ena okọ na akwhye Bernardo Silva Man City attacker no okobasa anasa onko ena oso no for now oye focused say obon the ball edi ama Man City ne contract no eguso a enrane na in June last year ena komatwetwe start say cause between ono Barca nemum ono de for now or remaining as a City omo player into ono de on pen ho so be Man City animu ya Liverpool omo kopeng Jude Bellingham man for a winning race no ama omo Wolverhampton omo kopeng Matheus Nunes ono any players say Liverpool for echo na omo kopeng no Jamie Carragher or Liverpool also come market na Midfield we dey yemfa league omo splash be 200 million pounds na Liverpool omo Midfield infinity ho no omo fasika enso enye former Liverpool any Arsenal player Jermaine Pennant kwame say dey plan e kan kwa o see so nya sika pa ɔde bi ɛyɛ nsa drugs chacha emasem ɛne nsɛm asabi na ɛnyɛ papa nkɔno ne sika ɛyɛ sese deɛ ɔde kapa ɛnyɛ easy cry Eric ten Hag Harry Maguire ɔbɛtɔ no na wɔntɔ no still Oche Harry Maguire bɛkɔ so remain as captain ɛde ama United ɔmo football club Oheneba yɛde si na Fresh Prince Owusu anana KGC na ase no ɔse yɛn wehye ne nuaba Presla Owusu ɔwɔ Anweaso Health Center midwifery office ɛhɔ ɛna Presla Owusu ɔyɛ adwuma nti ne nua Fresh Prince baako pɛ ɛsɛ yɛn wehye ne nuaba baako pɛ ɔmfa ne nua agro Kwame happy birthday.
Wow, this is Kessben 93.3 and I was Sugusa Wutin and Nano Pay. Midfield oxy Jumedie and a day broma. Man, some out on a Tony Montana, dinina a day abana. The camp better say Franco Naro better as a word better say Sanso and a Newton latte. Obia ya crado, yet a good you some a day ba. Nebum sending so. But you'll be a pesto a day a renting upesto. Na what rentia, and that's so pesto. Now what ton yema a womb. Ewo kejetia former Asempa pharmacy wo kejetia no ho ena se shops no ababeda ti we obi a ope shop ewo eye Asempa pharmacy former Asempa pharmacy ho a the year so be friend number way 0544 646488 0544 646488 and that's 0246 813 876 0246 813 876 obetima fre number way so per store ewo eye kejetia na wako rente atonyema wo ma former Sempa pharmacy wa obetima fre sa number SG Mall Christmas promotion eguso ekoso senenso se Christmas na mba na wieye and into promotion no eguso ekoso de denden na mo abronya mu de mani kire eye SG Mall no ani gye 23rd mu ani gye amuko mu 24th 25th and the first nyina no ani gye ekoso ewo SG Mall no na enda form and into so night club no guso eye adwuma sansom and spa ne di so eye adwuma supermarket no jewelry shop no gym no nyina no eguso eye adwuma tupe baby akwajuwa home ope baby akwajuwani a enye baby se SG Mall Semensha Golden Mall I take road behind Israel FM and the Love FM no Oheneba ya e wose wokom Charismatic Ventures wamu din do to de bedwaso indro mu dia bano mu di eye Zahara Man Capsules aba na Zahara Man Capsules na bema wadro bema num Zahara Man Capsules a ebo ma timi perform ye but menum Zahara Man Capsules sabre ze oni oba kwa akoda onum ya no anya adwuma num eye enne echina echi no wanuma na yo mogya no adwuma ayo ni pedua no adwuma nti bredu so ni oba kwa akohyemu anigye ne de ofa ne kwa enu nte na wo so num Zahara Man Capsules ye di Zahara Mixture Zahara G Capsules enso bedwa so se dron ye num bom wonim se dron ne bom a obi a discharge wo ye ba wo ye bema discharge ekuro ena toto bema no rashes ina gu bema no anase osa ena yo bema no wenya gonorrhea wenya syphilis a eye Zahara Mixture Zahara G Capsules ena wasamunum wonuma sa problem yi esubetwa ede amawo akwentuo de ye na se afi ahyase yi bopeso tu kwan a ba bia wo so kɔ eye Lodis Company Limited women be mo time tu kwan no your number 0540 477 565 0540 477 565 akwentu bia peso tu bia ko bia peso kosu bia de hia so be frɛ wa number we so wo frɛ beboa amwetimi etu eye ekwan no wo twe ba powder papa you so twe ba powder ni bi eno ne be solve usisi yare problem no ade amount usisi na wuntimi fa nantintimi fa ndan wuntimi fa ntumi ka wuntimi fa mbuatopa wuntimi fa nya dwuma bia no woche ba pada no ene be ma sa problem no aba na wieye ede amount wo bia wonya STDB white ene how o menses no embaye koko anase pressure empam gudie no ene nkoye mfa mawa woche ba pada no ene wo so yusi bo yuso sa problem no esubetwa ede amount wei ndura Divine Hope Herbal Center wamadaroma ena wamade aba edwaso classic ointment sisiyare aduro we use classic ointment pimples na egu anim no rashes na egu ho no anase dwibedwiba nkrosa ayam ekoro ehoa na egu trase no ni nyina bekọ a eye classic ointment ena wo so use we use sa ointment bia sa problem ni nyina bekọ e dia ma we ye adura any drugstore chemical shop bi abeko bia no obetimi enye bia to T74 eye dropa monum T74 drone bia any viral infection disease any bacterial infection disease ebeko ede amount eno kodan chain when your kidney problem when your liver problem or lungs problem eye T74 edrono ena wasa wonum bonuma sa problem ni nyina no ebeko ede ama ko pebito nanom nentu yere na se emfama semen saba clinic wa sokore mampo ene sokore mampo robangnum ene tinhwe mu sa ko semen saba clinica diabetes hypertension hepatitis arthritis junsom yare bi na wanya semen saba clinic ena kwa sa problem yi ombebow no me ye free ho ede ma fidie memfa yare enhyase fenigye ene amodin ene fehase se nigye ne amodi benye bia giso de beni ache semen saba clinic ehone bia ya ye beboa mo pomden etima konkan ede ama police ni na dro eye dropa num police ni na dro ni bi na boost immune system no immune system na modin police ni na dro na anoma immune system no ahodi bebem ahodi bemu a yare bia entimi embo enunti ena woso num police ni no edro se Franco Naro atanase sanso andike matanase awal Mohammed Hudu enso atanase Naro afisiapa
kwame afin kometo ye police ni edro nde edro pa boye e boost immune system no so se Christmas u de number bre no msana immune system ni weaker. Sorry, Sabri, I won't to mean sorry, no correct. But when the immune system is strong, you can even take some level of poison into the system. They will fight against these disease-causing organisms. Okay, they will be very fit and strong.
Brunya net saying
it was good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay,
it was good. It was good. Because I spent most of the time at the SG Mall.
Yes, working,
of course. There were a good number of people who saw me there, and they were like, "Wow."
Some of them say, "Ezimoi, we say true."
We brought a good number of artists.
Okay,
and it was really good. That Akedi came on the 24th, 25th was Quincy P, and yeah, Sister Fia, Aswandin Fame, and so by. Now I think Seko John Cancer and Ebe Killing on the New Year Day on the African Child.
Okay,
easy. But before that, so Mami Ode, your own Mami Ode.
Oh, my own Mami Ode.
Mami Ode did some miracles.
Yes. But they are to pay Gibronya there.
They are to pay Gibronya there.
Okay.
They are to Pakesi Tuan and Nasementia.
Nana Sementia, so they are to Pakesi Shiano.
Ugane. And put the Nanka second, Nana question Nanka. Mami Ode at Tuan Hawk Gibronya there.
So Monsieur Jani, Ojani atubakesi.
Ojani.
Oh, so Monsieur, atubakesi.
It was lovely.
Oh, okay.
Everything is fine. Nyame Adamos, we are resting a fine, so okay. We are poised for action.
This expectation is saying on your side.
Kwame, I do a lot of things.
Okay.
Nah, I don't know. I may be wrong, but me and Kasa, maintain set targets.
Oh, okay.
To be very frank with you. So I started here now. I don't usually set target. Maybe the end say I want to do the right things at the right time. Now the Nyame na be share the could do at the end of the year. No,
not what could
okay. Until I usually try to do the individual things right. Nye beti makabo me dia mame no na made Nyame ase.
Okay.
Until na me ha me hu bebre say this is my target. Chinchina me achieve.
Oh, okay.
But the other things they be able set a target amount. Maybe I will go school be now. As by the year, no 2 year we are now. Those things are there. But generally speaking, I don't set target for myself.
Okay. Se Franco Naro,
Oheneba Michael
Nyame. This year there no bucket.
No bucket.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Oh yeah.
What's your booby?
Ebu abakuti bi fam. Na dia che.
Nipa di na with them nyeso say with them Judy so be this.
Okay. Elisha de be Nyame be.
No bucket.
Okay. And Dikem. Gala fo nyina hene.
Why?
Feature ball hene.
Okay.
Go ye.
Oh, it has always been good.
Yeah, feature ball bibia ko
so. But it's heading number.
Afi.
Target in the Franco can no. Okazo opese usi. Abrosana ni this year. Oko set target na ma say.
But so obetima I make you realistic target. Ana
realistic target na say bineska. Eno nkwa na aka kwa me. Eno nkwa si nyeska na nkwa de na nkopon yes re nkwa tenten. So my bi. Obi eno anka ahwe bio. Di aka ni na diska na ye. Nti scan ye best say nyankopon be me anya bi afi. Ye nya no atwam no ye 2023 cc. Ti na me mo ya na ba bia na ye no mfa ye nkwa animu osikasemu. Eno ane ade aka na ye san asre nkwa tenten. Miki de obekase obisi fie obetoka obetompa bo abeto atade engusiwe iska. Nti sika ene kwa me ade ya hwe twedi ampo nyankopon na nimsafu wi de mamu meka fever bia asem nkyere ye obi dada sika ne ade ayi hia obi amfa fever bia metu bia so sa blofu ye free ho omo ani nya sika
Kessben anka say fever
da bi sa abra omo je nya omo fever ide de ye hia sika kwa hode ne ewo na nya sika na kwa me obema oda sori ya wani nye nya kuma pa na fabra adwuma na be ya adwuma pa maga na man no ane ade ya free na ma
sika na fidie hia
ehia kwa ahoden
ensem kwatete ni ahode de danche
enu ti wa omo sori ano papa ba ekuru mo be de
sika
no a ti no bi ewe
awa adena andi ka de usrisa
Aliza wa de minimum the target
say Franco nim eno di
so this year there obeware
yeah.
Can I say the next
me say my wish is before the next Ramadan,
the next
God willing.
And Ramadan you say a date by
Ramadan should be around late March this
March.
year.
Oh, okay.
Late
no
March.
no
Huh?
No no
My wish yes.
And that's all we get that. Baby, una match second 2 months. It is all one by
late March cry the first
you know that bien fan come me kula na say get that. That's how ukushi
again is
otimpana
na mu
ba February
unwo bia wo hu oba 1 month
ba be ken
it's
obi ba hwehye omfen odem awa ntemi ke futu no boa ko buta no say na yere wo hia na ha me
na ntu ba je so ne tra o cha na aware ni dimu ana
2 months dey untumi fan
2 months e be 1 month kwade ware
na ene owie no waja no hotu kwai na de one na ekotena dem se ne egu na mu ware wi agin na egu ntemi ke futu no ntu futu pa wa se se o mo obi e wo wi ase bi a wore bi atwempena da oye sofu oye malamu oye di otwempena pen na kwa mu hu oba na aka so pen na ade agin na ware motena na otwekura empena twen awa meeting to futu pa wan hia ye beda soro ni FD do funu kwasi ye na che na bibia ankoyi na steady ni
pa match no mane nko ebo
no me sisi awa obi nti no ka match so ka so obeto tire na won sa so bibim na oni ka akoto tire ko man
okay ofa
nti
be clear
oh baby and digina
na te ranko ba onu mukasi
because am say am pass match ho baby no be wa dia sa breed no onya bi asia one ne twempena
okay
so mpratwen mu great enya mu de na say unya mpratwen na wo kompa so baby
mpratwibu ha no mpaso
ihu kitamudi ne ade da bi ho na
kitamudi be
omudi mu nkomo no ma hwesem be da bi ho na agye mu nsem ne bia no fi bia bem so no na jo nsem na opacho kakra na matwa so eno wo kwa na siri ze de
em say official na wa person ka tire say ni
sa fi be ma no apacho opa wan cho
say jo nsem
opa wan cho
opa na Nyame cho Sabanko awa de person chance see no nensa to bi so nti yem fam pai bonta
entry na match untimi
awa nensa to bi so anke sha say ka fam go interrupt be 4 times awa why are there but me careful to no there ompe wase nti chiche say mamuncha kakra me so
omunche for how long
oh there be ndem ntimi nka but the merchant see awa me ati say
but so ko ware within 1 month na ye be hihye di
we na so wako US and UK dia no problem
but only na tukoma
na ha there me to afutupa sa kwa make it to ompe wase if you na ko hu afo ni mi no hwe no to assist
no asemra no kan se me to me twempena eno ba ne dan ma ne fefuru kwanza na mekoye no hade pa ebusuafo ma me ne obi acho mpa Nyame chew se ayemfom so na emu I want to do the right thing. So I went ahead and do the right thing.
Experience the pa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful show last year. We hope this year is going to be splendid. Greetings to organizers of Mampong, a same interzonal community gala, especially Bossman Pepe, Honorable Samuel Adebrube, Mark II, and all the boys. Also, Happy New Year to my lovely wife, Mrs. Grace Ado. Justice from Mampong, a same health center. Onusu message awade abreye ne anope ensunonom. We say good morning. Please, do you see this Chuck Norris coach doing any better thing for Chelsea? Anyway, Chelsea till I die. Bismarck Kwame Chelsea, aka Medal, inside Kaswa and Nawadiaba. Now so Chuck Norris.
One city one kaza accent
kwa
oh corriboli ne ife
action kwa
we are with Romeo
Chuck Norris
ala kwa mkazi yangu nana
oh ndio Chuck Norris I don't see Chelsea in the top 4 this year. What has changed suddenly? This storm would make Chelsea an ordinary team in England. Edem Tema. And I want also a message, every abre nano pay. I'm George from Mampong, Equiapem. I watch your show every day. And I think this year you have to do more. Okay, we are more. And so, Ediamamo, good morning. We are watching you live here at Boys Abre Parliament inside Akokere Zongo. My darling club, Manchester United, will surely win tonight by 3-1. Message from Junior Popskini. On also message ahode abreye ne anope enso no. What's a Frankunaro? Member Kwandio, but we show FIFA a confirm say a finish as na member omo eshase na finish as no womo ma each confederation na se meka confederation na CAF CONMEBOL sa confederation na womo ma each confederation be $60 million for development, promote and organize football within the region. And unisika FIFA a day Emma all the confederations $60 million. One must also $5 million for each zonal and regional association to organize football competition for men, women, and youth. Not just a zonal associations, not just a Naroba Africa, Aquacoye waffle. Aha, and they are there, and also FIFA a mobia. Zone A, aha. Now say no so mobia $5 million. And no kodanche member association bia. Yeah, member association bia $5 million. Now say Ghana Football Association e benya $5 million. Operational cost. And no edanche ya. Well planned specific football project and achieving long-term development objective. And we need sika FIFA edema each member association to GF benya $5 million. Zonals ni so enya $5 million. Na for confederations ni so nyana enya $60 million. And only adi bedi kai
$5 million no mo de
$5 million no FIFA etrum say execute well planned specific football project achieving long-term development objectives. And only $5 million FIFA edema say G na faye afini mu nyina ɛno ne sɛdeɛ ɛsitiɛ
na sɛ we
but you need to know ba
ai na menim sɛ ɔbɛkɔ dan no mu na ɛna wankɔ dan no mu
ɔne ba mɛkɔ
ɔbɛkɔ dan no mu oh asesa
the same old way now.
Okay, okay.
We are supporting device.
Supporting. Okay. And akwa about.
Oni ba mejo so share tie fo nyina na feature fa so come on nyina. Say new year oni ba.
Of course.
New year. Ya saba sumu na ntina ya saba yi. Na new year no ma nya ebre amfre edom ni nyina nti no.
Ntimi.
Ma me take opportunity na me show be a feature pa especially me uncle Pastor Robert Boama ewatimatim. Ma me wish no feature papa oni ba.
Okay.
So ya ba besum.
Okay. Asumwa na ntini aba.
Yes.
Se Franco ma message mfi o. Hwe FIFA. Hey, FIFA big money.
Yeah. First of all, my dream is $60 million to each confederation. And you know, confederation will be dozen pa. Offer Kafa, they 54. I think UEFA is 52. 55. UEFA is 55. Okay. Comeball, South America for no. Omo 10. Brazil ne Argentina ne omkro for no. Omo 10.
Paraguay, Uruguay,
Chile, Costa Rica,
Colombia,
10.
Costa Rica or the other
side.
Costa Rica, USA, Canada, the other
Mexico. But me say, omom do so pa CAF ni UEFA 54, 55. I think Asian Football Confederation is about 47. Then South America for 10 near. I think that ocean numbers in there should be down almost na can you quite think the same level. But that aside, FIFA World Cup no any omunyu medio mudi ni sikaba into his no mochichena na chese 60 million ni share kwa mfize bia omono nso so ebe they are bad down e they abema members no but omo go to the extent say now after giving yemfa de enye mfa to ho so omo de $60 million ema CAF no uko wafua omo 5 million, then the GFA also get 5 million. Now interestingly, it is for the development of football at the men's level, women's level, and youth football. Sika GFA, for example, me they buy the element reducing it to the GFA no. Sika GFA here. My GM say 5 million could be insignificant, but I know others may come later. Because in terms of even development of youth football and women football, no, Sika F in here no, was pa. So let's hope say this money will come, and let's hope say and paying for Sika be baby di omonsa no so no. Omube yusu ewo near yesu omfanye so that they could also give proper accountability of the money that has been given out. For me, I wouldn't say that because of this money in Tibia government and fana su die danoso. Say oboa developing infrastructure. Say oboa ashe national teams no aban kotinkoda. No. The FA and the government are partners when it comes to development of this nature. But this money is specifically given to Ghana Football Association by their mother association, which is FIFA, and almost stated there so the United be hoping say left to me alone, we should have 5 million for even development of youth football vis-a-vis infrastructure at the grassroots.
5 million
Minya. That doesn't mean say others no me, but I think that say scar to do a co-development of youth football, any even women footballer a developing aba kaya was through. Nobody is expecting that these monies will go into paying salaries at anywhere. Inti my fanku dealing ko say any scarcity aba into players ni kay no, that is not what it's meant for.
But for FIFA kase specific football project net HSA.
Specific football project. Maybe you identify a particular project. It be our person we AstroTurf, or stadium. It could be a different form. It could even be say they organize juvenile football. Saying about organizing. Maybe feel say how juvenile football is being organized in this country is not proper. GFN to me see and crank say be multi juvenile football. but I see enya kwan de to ho no mo a ye behwe kwan ye befa so ama juvenile fo bebiri no ye beti number no so wow de no there should be a competition which could bring out juvenile teams competition and standards standards obu ha no akwaji school be a park na eno nko ne de oni bibia there should be a way to reduce the number of GFA recognized youth teams said the beyan common sabit maso so na so so yi mpachot mase so it's good.
Okay, Andy.
Why see na yesu from say a game na essay you know it is because you build the basics in here. A lot of people are raising concerns about coach football and the rest, but so I follow juvenile football and course just say and to say and it's so intense to say they can let yes or moons are not near one you bobola in just last 3 seasons Asantuma school nechiho we share numbers and they share that game now clearly we say game now was certain level into ye you know soon if you na castle more build picking player from under 15 yabesha under 17 no and clearly things are not well. You under 17 in Koye. We are only trying to see a bit me a promote 2 players maybe from 15 to 17 under 20 in Koye. Until we have problem with the basics. And it is the reason why a lot of people who raise concerns because you have players playing for Kotoko and House of Folk. Now ball trapping, control, simple dress but say you build the basics in here. Ebema players omu chance ababisia kind of my respective leagues no at least have born now that level of excitement every game into Kwame see na chance to be at Pram. Look at the facilities over there. So person build a state academy. Person build a state academy at least going forward. Obenya 1, 2, 3 players be a free young players there, even the Barcelona, the Madrid, the Benfica, the Ajax, the Santos, the Sao Paulo, or more reputable academy, or more cranny players, no any team grow to the very top.
Yeah.
But at least, Ubenya 1, 2 be a say going forward, no, seeing your time more with a proper planner, or move me a grow to the very top. I'm here, do my baby boy national team, or someone team, I'm national team, cranny, the almost share the Ghana Premier League side. Who play our academy da now who play our academy da who play our coach football da now who play coach football da now show you know open a clear difference between these players into Sikane ba we are only hoping say Sikane ba the also ye de beye because baby Sikane ba the honey baby a Ghana fo nyina esu say ye game no say ye game ni nko yi our national teams are not performing ye games no share enye fair. And we need to start from the basic. Until starting from the basic, there, you were example of Mali, you were example of Gambia, you were example of Morocco, you were example of Belgium, you were example of Germany, you were example of Argentina, you were example of Chile, you were example of Colombia, you were example of Uruguay. You bet me a buboni na kwame. You pick one model. Ni family diamo because it carry their son. At least, pram your baby kakra. We can only improve certain facilities over there. Your pitches net to say emiensa yemfa bi nka ho your pitches no what are other equipment that players need training your rooms no say the city e o see the facilities ni bi ka ho ana kwame I think ye disikani uramu a na ye decide say ye build there ye man who years the bia me can say we need to set a certain target for ourselves.
Yeah.
Germany for them are 10 years. Belgium for them more 10 years. Argentina for them call off no more years. Washington Oscar Tabares, the model no de Uruguay no chassis 1988. In 2002, and the chassis say bear fruit started from New Zealand 99. Obi onya chance Marcelo Zalietamu. A whole chassis say bear fruit, and eventually in 2010 they were in the semi-finals of the World Cup and they won the Copa America in 2011. Into when a game no Kwame or see the Kokudina. There's no room for you because Keba. It's a scanner bad ya. Baby, I lacking a honey baby or Kwame. You pumpy scanner deco. And time and a game no. Now you build as you know. At least we can talk about certain qualification to the World Cup. And the 2001 team can never be forgotten. You bet me a circle back. Now I could read the 5-year development plan. Any those players or a chance to be part of the 5-year plan. Baby, could do. Nti se sika na eba na dia kwame. It is solely welcome and we are only hoping say mpanimfo no e de beba be ye adwuma a esefata so omde.
Fred Akwaba mojidi so ho ye pa. Achieving long-term development objectives. Fred FIFA when in the ayana man focus FIFA de ban FIFA forward na say FIFA go project no difference e wo mu ana.
Yeah, it depends on application how you need what they because ni na no matter minutes. So now you complete FIFA forward 2.0. What's going to come is FIFA forward 3.0. I know now my increase I think by 30% if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, 30%.
So project now will be less, once again let me try and clear this. There's some FIFA could risk Canada abroad set up people now they know. Anything on my trust has specific project
specific football project.
Long-term development.
Yeah.
So over your program now they are core. Sometimes you need even auditors and other people to satisfy the owner that represent. Then they will come down and inspect if indeed I don't know what proposals or person or they indeed achievable. Sometimes if you are the cost of person see stadium, person see office. They will even come to inspect even if you own the land. That's a know what title we will see normal in account. And sana sometimes they would ask you to bring the project up and then what pin up for bidding. Maybe I'm a person see stadium ebi am person me build pitch na nko fa bid ebi do be win crown so some of the money crown it does not even come to you. FIFA will pay the contractor direct to do it. Nti enyan to boase ni serious jump no it's not money umkukuru da bread GFA say take it and do whatever you want to do with it. No, that's not how the money is applied or and I said the application of the money yes and echo. But to so this two program now you would have to inform FIFA, try convincing them as to why it is necessary for them to agree to Adena our presenting. So what must I say? So if they agree to it, then they would then open. Into where we are, you have to was ready. I say 5 million, and just say no kukum da bro. Up to. That is the catchphrase. Up to. So Bonica say up to her. And just say a bit my 1 million, a bit my 3 million, depending on Adena they are con the idea to an engine to. Even depending on even meeting omu auditing criteria. If you don't meet it, you cannot assess it.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So it is open to the 211 member associations not be affiliated to FIFA. No? But I can bet you no money na be 5 million. No? So what I say, because you need to go through it. I say in the previous year, no, almost term, almost a year auditing, you could say you might have met all those conditions. What me tell you, then you bring the proposal as to what you want to do. Look at the last Congress of the Ghana Football Association. This is a presentation with the stadium, normal PCAC or Pram. It now falls into a Go Project 3. FIFA Forward 3.0. No, it falls into it. And say if there's an incrementer, then the FA would have to sit and assess. No, it's okay. Would all that money be applicable? And I said the other important areas as will apply. For instance, if there's some part of you to go to improve even legal. If you make such presentation to FIFA with justifiable reasons, they would agree. Maybe almost can be maybe to support clubs, maybe to improve we say maybe and as original Macacref almost said the clubs are suffering. Maybe you have it's can be a clubs need to at the lower level, no, even create you have for refereeing, we do match you. The FA want to absorb it for a number of years. And based on that, you quantify that and then build into the forward project, Say omoji tumwa, then the money can be some of the money can be applied also. Normal be bring the komu. And yes, if FIFA could 5 million.
Maybe TD say basic no say youth football no. I wanna was saying more concentration.
So it's so clear now. The Frank can is so clear. Money no baby actually applicable male football, women football, youth development. Ntini na no be we dey account but say you have to justify why you want to do this. And I said twice. Are you getting it? But you can also take all the money and say youth football. What happens to a flagship program which is the Premier League? What happens to Adiabeya a base sustainable bit into future football development which is infrastructure? So you need to also pay attention to all those areas. And once again, the money is not coming for 1 year. Say 1 million and $5 million, bro. Money accessible over a period of time up to 4 years. What am I say? Let's just say 1 year, 2023, FIFA could group $5 million to the GFA. No. Money accessible for a 4-year cycle, depending on projects now or the bacono. Into a 4-year period at 7 year king. So a 4 cycle. You see, you're completely first cycle, second cycle, and I say main fan say I conclude forward 1.0, I call 2.0, say or 3.0, 3.0 na ye kwa remuno. You need to do all these things. And yeah, easy. Even by the time you conclude, some of the time we conclude when you now the administrative expenditure on the normal way you need to meet a tickets can be. You know, as part of I think 2.0, no, Astro pitch or I say Bogatanga. You know, FIFA now award the contract.
Yeah, Boga.
Yes. The company, you know, even though people applied, the FIFA na etia on the pakrono, but there are a certain aspect FA must absorb. It's not because shipping the normal they about a Ghana. And to come first will be no money in It's the responsibility of the Ghana Football Association. Sometimes you even need to support the FIFA forward in the with some of the internally generated funds and I was crowd would be to normal to even assess it or to get it.
Interesting say eba say na de equipment na GF no fa so tua sika amunye sika like for instance omutua staffs neka sika bia na
and say let me can say this money is accessible for a certain period. Your portions of it meant for governance.
Okay.
What I say administrative support. Eba they be that's why you cannot go about employing people left, right, center, forward. If you're employing people based on normal wage bracket, you just suppose that over or against will forward neighbor for administrative support and as a governance in terms of even your executive council can't be fast one to remain say you don't overspend. Tell me catch say you need to meet criteria to assess it. In the banner say be a no administrative staff no one afibia wo di $1 million wo do to you say any sound any prudent usage of money into uncommon few you need to meet criteria. Okay. And every time they come down to inspect books so I present books now but they need to justify say indeed the representative moment they right and I say we try to be falsify document normal so they come down they come on visit to inspect all these things and sana so like I said you know it is open to all the 211 member associations of FIFA but market not all of them will be able to access up to the $5 million.
Okay wow where the edidi kan Andy yanko foreign kakra because anadi wuntimi nka se Ronaldo ko Saudi Arabia ko jisika we yintimi nka wasem ni jerseys ye Tony say wa krono adane even television stations from Europe epe right ato a show say Ronaldo you unveil no nso am for so say Ronaldo we wie
no kwame
we no be we there ana
no the numbers and everything shows that Monday bonnet of him say we there it is not debatable
numbers man
when you play 530 minutes and score 2 goals 520 minutes and score 1 goal 191 minutes for Portugal and score a goal at the World Cup you don't need a magician to tell you this is not Ronaldo. He's a goal machine and he will forever be remembered for his goals. And these are the statistics we and lie and these are the facts. And it's only Ronaldo or you'll be at 530 no you expect at least 5-6 goals. 520 you expect 3-4-5 goals. 191 no you expect more goals for Portugal. And for Portugal to go to the extent of dropping Ronaldo in crucial games for Goncalo Ramos to play no you don't need a magician to tell you say see Ronaldo is not the see Ronaldo that we used to know. Inti kwame numbers na dey actually say Ronaldo baby an ojina no enye kwa an ojina. But again it is about being a marketing tool and Ronaldo has always been Osane dem in 3 days so he has a 2.9 million followers and he has about 690 million followers on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That is Ronaldo for you. Inti hoyobia David Beckham said no Ronaldo is done baby not even half of them. But say now Beckham see pool numbers any sika no de Manchester United no. None of these players na netimi. Until Ronaldo is cast in that particular mode. And Saudi Arabia for normal game no baby another any baby Ronaldo ababeka ho no. And near more the account you should expect those things from Europe. Besides that, players don't go Europe na ya kasa omo ya ade ni na. Ade Ronaldo they buy in terms of marketing. None of them. And all that pulling power. Or the some marketable viability in beba. So to have Ronaldo in the Saudi Arabian League, na European TV rights, that's all kwa kucha Ronaldo abakwame. Mimi who news say. They think about the market, they think about money. And they feel Ronaldo is a figure. I'll bet me I'm almost kind of open. Into kwame me who news so unless you don't know Ronaldo. So on the pitch, on team mad you know the man, but he's still a marketable tool. I also accept it. That is it for Ronaldo. It is once a man for you keep 10. No more Tony Jesse. Se once and central from all corners of life. Cause Saudi for his unveiling. Kwame, you don't need a magician to tell you say Ronaldo is a marketing tool. And only idea why apart from the career now, you bet can say in the Champions League, in the European competition, in the UEFA League of Nations, or show in the class no. See, he become free. One player in any dimbo when it comes to marketing, Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's up for grabs, and you must accept it. Say, in as much as team fan numbers in my and on a day, come into who will be into league in Kahwadis in Omonkoto. It is Ronaldo, so you expect that. The number 7 is iconic, and baby or Duke be an or say, and only a man here exceptional, a man here distant from his peers. And you need to expect that from Cristiano Ronaldo. And so for now, I think in a chance to come here, Ronaldo unveiling in the afternoon, and it is something that you expect. Say, particularly say, we want to person got right in more games because of Ronaldo. And Kwame mean one way, and you're surprising if you know Ronaldo very very well.
So was Sunday. So was Sunday. But send him modern ball ever from now still. We better reconcile it too, no?
Kwame.
Yes.
And the attached part of it, I think that he's been bought for 2 purposes. One for marketing. Marketing not only Al Nassr as a football club, but the other is also for football nankasa okobodia mom. First of all, let's get it. Enra no kudruye. Until 4 p.m. and omube unveiling. And actually we are seeing now. Unveiling in a Kwame, this is the biggest football contract in the history of the game. The biggest contract in the history of the game. 200 million euros every year. 200 millions every year. Who breaking it down? Say 1 month tibiano. Omutuano 16.67 million euros every month. Every single week, Ronaldo will be taking 3.88 million every single week. What it means is that in every day, every single day, 555 euros. That could be a tremor. Obeje 555 euros. What it means is that every 1 hour, don't Shreba could be Ronaldo will be taking 23,150 euros. It goes down to say in every single minute, 60 seconds here, but this 1 minute he's taking 386 euros. It breaks down to 6.5 euros every second. Odahoye biano 6.5 and a euro about 10.8 cities. Enti men try say oba convert it ekura ede akọ yesikanim. Now my other's analysis before, he's 37 years. When Rooney retire and Kai Dakro, some of these top players, Ronaldo, Luis, David Beckham, and one leave top European league, at a relatively lower age. and so they don't attract this. The guy is an exceptional talent. Nobody can downplay that. And Oman marketing it well, both on and off the field. Both on and off the field. He's going to Saudi Arabia. Look, in Qatar, I think after Portugal free and then he on the street, you bet me share Qatari boy. Bonza who's so she just no I sue. The behind me can say, none of the can say Messi, Eja Ronaldo ho when it comes to the competition for greatest of all time. I still stand by that. But the next one me no football boy. And here be bad things will be baby be say why Messi di ni bi. Minim do be because why Messi di ni bi. But the next will be the free kick beto. No 29 1 2 3 konechi no be any name because why Ronaldo di ni bi. It's got an iconic celebration. Until my branding in name these things they think about it and do it. So celebration will be a year because why Ronaldo di ni bi. Inti Bukari koye no krofo di na terms ada na Ronaldo gina park ne so na okwa koye bi. So I think that Qatari League ebe peja omo papa Saudi ebe peja omo papa because in that region still football no e wo form kakra. Saudi crowd there omo peja bebre o football me saying Qatar bebre Saudi for ni there honestly big guys alcohol no money ade. But I think it's all well and good. It's the time for Ronaldo to leave. As a Manchester United fan, I think how he left was not the best.
Yeah.
Makasa, he's too eye-red. Maybe that is what is keeping him going. That self-centeredness. Or dream or no, me Ronaldo, them penny. Otherwise, clearly not these deals in the war. And until the man can't answer, I'm not sure before na terminate contract no uncle. I got furious, but you can't take it away from him. Sasika where I can be a dim papa say Obibe breaking is 200. You see more being can be a to name 222 and only a scar who piano once pay Ediama the club. It's not going to the player, but this is going directly to the player. But I'm more Tony mechanizing your money in their account. The business they are doing, maybe they will make it.
Okay, Fred.
I'll pick something from Andy's and then something from Frank Diano. Na then you understand it. Edikano, and Kremifala Frank last week they say Frank Fee said not deal new or that. Anything or call sign interview no. Because I said Tameno is interview before the World Cup, me boy. It's not deal no or that. Sanke they could have even announced it right after the World Cup. So no through say Messi be overshadow no. Someone announces the way now ain't gaining traction I say gaining when the World Cup was still ongoing. This is a fact. If indeed I'm to go by the Frank can say indeed the deal was enough. I mean they ordered that and signed a World Cup. The contract was cancelled before the World Cup. At the World Cup he played as an attached player. So you could have announced it even after Portugal if you say you could have even announced it before the World Cup. Okay, he joined the World Cup corner figure way a bad dada. They just need to know. And no more hesitate, no. Or tonight off some few days. In meeting with Anasa for no man, they could have announced the deal. But if they announce this item about this and can die off, and can work a fun and Messi no more about would have overshadowed him. I don't know him say Pele Beguso and can announce some correction kakra. Because Pele we and so have some week kakra, you know, on to or time Tamabia Argentina for Messi, you know. Ebony didn't ever form no more announce here. Sometimes the pillars will be we are, and then they use media attention. Kakra. But I me for one did and say indeed it is true. If what Andy is saying say born wasa until
Umuton as modern bob buffum.
And that's one.
I don't just
no one in the year. Who can community in goes our saying now. Also Ronaldo will greatest asset in go share. When you review. Say Bobo Yanko for contributing boya or bought to chain or the man Yonku and wind the Ronaldo no count. Would there any go share? There's a ghost and the shared number of matches for Boston and also a negligible bare few percentage. Let's just say what's on because that's your greatest asset. Ronaldo is being bought for the commercial viability than football obo.
It's easy for anybody who to 173 instead of Frankie say a basa the amount to be a week be a woman say day be a woman say hour be a woman say second. No, that's the wage Anka say 63 million. That is what they will pay him. That is why I'm agreeing with Andy. The wage Anka say 63 million euro pounds a year. That is the wage a club need to amano. There can you no carbon commercial no generating no. Nature na no dey work up to Saskano. They say if the figure is 173 million pounds a year, that's a wage in Ankasankasa club need to amano 63 ya. Nature say a whooping 110 a commercial projections o my. It is a commercial thing no move out. Because the commercial when is almost as double as the year of born out of park and so. There's 110 million pounds would come by way of merchandise in the commercial normal image right in normal and nobody ceiling at their torso. So that is the fact. In the year say on every just 63 a year and just a month be we say week be we say 1 hour be we say 1 second no. The guaranteed payment na 63 million pounds a year. The rest is onum a year on budget to together.
But ni na sika.
What's that? Ni na sika.
Ni
na sika. Keep quiet.
No, you are telling me what
I can read.
No, sir, Oko.
No, sir, then you no nkwana you. Even newspapers in UK. So my 1 month they say, 1 week they say, 1 minute. It's not only you. But when I translate here. You read it. So I'm also saying it. So it's not and you don't own that. You don't own that. Even the Sun for aye. In terms of month, the same people know so actually in truth what they guaranteed emano, which is the wage. There can commercial generation now we generate revenue ebebano. Only the end year kwa. So the point I'm trying to raise is say, Ujemwa, the image right in the commercial when so chain ni wage ankasa club ni tuano for the football obo. And na mama ni handi ya adweno. So he's been purchased for the commercial way or and your ball and they ball ye boy ankasa de. Unu mi nyina ya adwene.
Say.
Oh, no ball man ka visa oba Saudi Arabia. Ronaldo, ana oni no. Ronaldo. So ball na so. Ronaldo ball boy da so mu a. Akoba Saudi Arabia. No dey be call Manchester City crampo no. O dan na adwene de Manchester United. So Ronaldo da so form ya. Saudi Arabia oba. An ahwan. Some na okay kwa Miki. Ana oni Ronaldo nana.
Miki mente
Debbie.
China make am na untie.
Dem na buche. Na so on ka so ka brofo. Masa.
No so on tia say.
Na ntia
no brofo man ka say ba no.
Debbie go bin bache.
Na some na
nya buche. Now, Brim.
Is there a doubt about the fact say Ronaldo ni ball aba from?
There
is absolutely no doubt that the Ronaldo na in Nuni. And he understands it. So Ronaldo at his peak, he won't go to Saudi. But we are looking at that age and what he's been able to attract. It's what we are talking about. Ronaldo, when now form an Portugal in the bench. And to say ne form above form. We are not talking about a 30-year-old guy. 37. Please, let's go through the global football and look out for players on mobile at their peak. Their money and news money and once at that age, he still attracts these huge sums of money.
Now
that make you Frank and kind anything different.
I'm surprised you are dwelling on
But the point I'm trying to raise,
he himself, everybody knows he has come
the
down.
point I'm trying to raise,
even news for anybody.
But the narrow can say at age no na odinya say sika no we dey fan say the commercial in Ukraine chain na 37 no 63 million sika kitwa
enye sika kuma na ndukwa ewom ni nyina ne say me say wa build sa finishing the vibe around him,
yes,
or commercial viability no he has it, no doubt. Enta me tell say uhwemu a sika kra yetua no for ne effort as a footballer no it's not chain sika yetua no for the effort as a commercial machine. Into amu turn to generate sika. That is the point I'm trying to raise, and it's a fact.
Okay.
And yet deniable. In fact, before Obeko we say no, he wanted to go to America. I hope Ronaldo, Ronaldo.
Why?
So ball so timi bot say kakakra ko ball in first season Manchester United ko decide Arabia here. So timi bot say the first of Manchester and even Juventus make fan Real Madrid the Manchester of old ning fan Casimo. So or from kakra to say Juventus ya ko decide Arabia or the here. Come fire away because obeka na obeye. But oko America no one miskaza kan mu ntua no. Nti eso de na ni kire Saudi Arabia bisa na okoyewe the contract om da man no mana di no ma wurawuram ti say bond kwa no so mu hwese wasa na ontimi mo a obeye ambassador de Saudi Arabian football the country Saudi Arabia ni na kan wo omu ahu so mu hwese asana se bond ontimi mo a omba dan ambassador de Saudi Arabia ahunu omu so say Newcastle to qualify for Champions League na so former obe call on loan akwa akobo ama Newcastle champ on be oboso bobo ti Ronaldo on be oboso bobo sisla ti onya Champions League bobo nyesa na wasa na Barca Arabia onya European Champions League bobo nti odwene se Newcastle be qualify top 4 na mo tuma akobo Champions League e Barca ade obetuma akoho on loan akwa akobo Champions League so you agree with me say wonum nyina building to it
okay
so that say asamba say be go to boss na wa analyze it. Na analysis amaye around it no ene na me do tuje na we boni be na maye enya no kure say Ronaldo de ashemu say Newcastle timi finish top 4 no mo Champions League obetimi akọ on loan enya no kure sa
achu ya hoye apa Isaac Question takwa
aje question e bi so akra so ya hoye o me ho nti na obi a wo kan say
ntu ya hoye Ronaldo
o say me kan sa me de kure de o ba makin kan nya nchiro
we say de waje to so ya hoye Ronaldo
making kan nya nchiro na ni na wa make making kan nya nchiro e me kan say e bi mo nya no crowd dem kan say we nya no kure
yes offer quick one 1 minute on it na ye for Ronaldo ah we it's okay
me last one
quick one David quick no nka quick no
what coach no Rudy Garcia the coach na no
Rudy Garcia
coach no coach ni say Ronaldo aba o mana kwa aba de na kondo onya anka Messi ne ba first coach na numa nyame o do coach team no si Messi na ko hwe no coach na numa asem wo so so boa musan ko hwe nya na meka wo nyina ka kom je say coach ni pe ball on wasa nkofo no mu manage team no epe ayisika on commercial revenue one image ni so yin coach ni pe do boa no park no so coach na numa asem no so ne ka Messi na ko ope no so nya ka Messi na ho ope do bobo na man no park so akoye o she 7 JC
why
also must hey you are just in Brian Farmer Ronaldo was na me media kakra komu yinadi ana ni manager akopacho wa ma 177 yes komu yinadi komu sakino team no na manager akopacho no also ni o 77 ana waji 77 7 JC no
mate me da se pa Andy so say ya na o de waka wasaba ma
o de energy
odi kase
la bi say ya call for check
tema na ro kasalo o tu di no hwe sa o hwe na o yidi no hwe sa
na energy o de ka
o de ka Ronaldo semba
na Frank kase no nwa sa na e che say na what you say
we say buy there is one na 7 JC
this was David this
akwa komu yinadi
na ti what did you do there
komu yinadi o de there say na no de bo ano no de bo
there ani ma ba pia je hwan na 10 JC have you pastor
ye ji
da hwan ono ana de ma no ono
bo de nya kwa na de ma no akwa no so be so na de ana mo se so 7 JC de ni re yu
aja kwa aka so be
so also be che
okay wait
what dey o me de ma o
wanka
sorry for
akwa no so be jumping oh it's true I'm not lying no that's a fact guy ni so mpene it came to a point sending ko be fit team ni mu ana na agent ba mu no mu ko negotiate here no ma 77 o mo de 7 akoka ni 7 no so fa ni sa no so fa ma Ronaldo ball be no bobo akwa bi sa Ronaldo ball be no bobo ya fa so pe mesa ma bobo
ya fa Ronaldo di ni sio and the uncle ness sunafi yen fancy aka 7 minutes
sir
ai
dogen club
ana wal Ronaldo yen ko Saudi Arabia
Ronaldo dey say what do Saudi Arabia ni santi uni asema obeka ba okopeja o league no okopeja o league no because having such a superstar o league no there is very good nzena wa nkasa na o kase even some of European broadcasters no person munya right a broadcast Saudi Arabia league to Europe nina because of why because Ronaldo about so it's very good for the Saudi Arabian league
okay
it's very good
Andy
adwuma na jogging club nsem snow pitch, referee, injuries, and frama. Kwame, edwuma na de nsem. Football na sa na tie. And the paper man it na be one dimensional. Because omo nyina ebo to suit Erling Haaland. Inti the peak team and obi enim say Kamara si shegos, Foden shegos, Grealish shegos. Kevin De Bruyne shegos, Bernardo Silva shegos, Ike Gundogan shegos no. Go ni nyina ba be Erling Haaland. Inti game na suit no. Inti na pep won kire. Na enim say
Man City crossbow for you. Aye. Man City for ne. The ball Faris
crossbow ba.
Yes. I think there's an explanation to that. Pep want to prove something. You remember when he went and bought Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he said Zlatan si bon ball no. Pep never really ultimately define the role. Zlatan team man man ball na institute Zlatan. They do be kwana ono ball na no simbe ball 9. And you know normal. Until I say Zlatan Pep intimi ain't changing and I believe that. So on to me onye dynamic. So ball na no watching continue say 30 say Man City omuchine the team so much the team 6 no gina onu do onye.
Very common with the flexible coaches.
So no hu do onye. Into I think so what kakra to try and proper center forward say in way un say oba we nyina no even Aguero cry obona Aguero ye playmaker otimi e body obobo bitima dribble bitima e say no but Haaland dey ogina ho na ye fa ball no mra no ana osasa sa dey nyina no so na ekwa against ni total football no obo na nka onum nyina bitima chego no ana ma no ho kire no.
This is the second time Pep is doing that. At Bayern Munich, he did that to suit Lewandowski. And then Erling Haaland, but once I hear Lewandowski, I don't see a pure striker. The qualities in the profile is different from we are typically tapping merchant. Or no defenders they be automatic. The bar no account to mun 10. Hardly will you see Erling Haaland say or Becca only defenders we know actually me no abumache. And then see at least one off. No one yana from Haaland. Into the game we na akwa one dimensional and clearly when say Pep say he is clearly predictable these days. The game no almost help from left and right because of the arrowhead now or use no. Now ne him say Jesus absence na be house na kakra. But so she Bukayo Saka ni Martinelli pick up no with the inclusion of Edin Katiana. The only problem may be Arsenal be Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka Kupra. But until so mumi no be stay fit. Saliba and Son and saying wa ha see Edin Simnu kakra. And if you look at the number of goals or conceded in the last game, our statistics in this so very solid. And France are calling it up to the national team for the World Cup. In the Arsenal, so actually say they are still pushing forward and at a better place to win the Premier League. And almost against Newcastle United. Now for me, one of the games Arsenal to Misha BBR Chelsea Kwame or more team kwa na eko because almost boy against a team almost what form pay a team Obecas on the field of play not so much quality. But so share Juma di how I at least the guys are playing so well. Last game boy, you know, at least team winning. But look at them against the top size. Share Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester United ball draw. In the 87th minute, no consider against Liverpool. Manchester City ball 3-3. Into at least so check Newcastle United against the big teams now. Lose to only Liverpool. It is Arsenal will be a normal person almost extend your lead now. This is the right time. The likes of Voltman, Karen Trippier, all those guys are still available. Arsenal were Juma in midfield where they have Bruno Gomes, Omo Joletin, and then Warlock, or Longstaff Beba and Miguel Amiron. The form now yeah Baba walk up no do woman still Kwame who anymore and Carl Wilson. Omo find a way to bench Saint Mazim. And upon all these results, no game nibi, but they are still winning. The Arsenal enya control over the midfield of Newcastle United. Now say Bruno Gomes enya control there. Newcastle will be in trouble. But the firepower Arsenal no. I don't think Newcastle United beat me and stop warm. And the game will be played at the Emirates Stadium. It's a game that I see Arsenal say beat me ABB. Now Jurgen Klopp on 7 there. Van Dijk in and who say Fabinho form no. A bar fem kakra no Van Dijk clearly won't mean defend what you Konate giving own goals. Trent Alexander-Arnold attacks more than defending. Makers is not a player that you can rely so much. Then now shall call Brian Buemo any Joan Wissa the almost far so when you want to who's Liverpool bread. The funny aspect of it is that so Darwin Nunez and so you will game be or at least nke Liverpool win, but the number of chances are ebane number of chances obogu no kwame ya na ma game na sesa kakra nti ye no ahwe chances e ba ni size sa chances nyina obogu ye wiye no na wa ma ben mi Ethan Pinnock and Jorgensen, the back three of a team my friend team omo boy no kwame Brentford for them ye who say at least almost more de bonus so any and e bia abeka set home but enye first time mama yini omoko Etihad ko share Manchester City by 2-1. They gave Manchester United 4-0. Tottenham as well, and it is the turn of Tima Yefre Omo Liverpool. Into Jurgen Klopp, the third choice midfielder in the absence of Guinea Barnadium till date. On team replace here again. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain entry says who here goes or the Bemau. Darwin Nunes born go. Javier Elliott in team replace Guinea Barnadium. Thiago Alcantara is on and off. Fabinho lose form kakra, and the moment our pivot the be lose form no. Ema o defense na ekwan ba bedem nti club onya adwuma saa dia atu ni ebi atu coaches ni bebrebe say we are lucky to be at Liverpool dia na watena but say one lucky na akoba bi ti say Tottenham Hotspur any Chelsea mo dia you will be fired, or Manchester City you will be fired. But Kwame, the number of goals or conceding no so check the top 6 only Tottenham Hotspur nkwan na concede goals to no which is 25. Liverpool are conceded 22 goals and not good for a championship side. So more person here in the top 4. They are in the market for Matthias Nunes. Meaning the whole Mendes the number 1 because now we are not so bagus. Enzo Fernandez is likely so Chelsea. You almost say training one Conrad. I said Argentina, my Benfica supporters in the dinner time say in just 14 games, and when a fantastic World Cup, Sika over 112 million pounds. Edinachi. Almost so Oheneba be fan akọ Chelsea in training Obana supporters na sorry etiano. Inti kwame e was a club ye adwuma na oyeye ni ye because se sia ba bi ogina de se wa anyere no ho anya adwuma na top 4 no on Chelsea on bebre to make it.
Okay.
But Kwame, kakra bi ntimi mo yeni nguso. The goat has finally gone home to his maker. The goat, the real goat has gone home to his maker. And then the celebration of the goat
Obia can be a goat back open.
Yes, the goat has gone home. And the celebration of the goat remains unabated. Now the son I call here the meaning of goat. No? Okay.
So Mr. Teddy on the mind.
Now is my one conversation. The other fan too. Baba na say we have to do that. FIFA president say Obakache can't be
Mommy FIFA president.
Mr. This obesima
o say the pela no on a goat no.
That's the real.
Mama can be a goat in baby. Inti or catch member associations they say Krobia we stadium now we see no Jibako
never to the goat.
The goat. Pele. And Antonio I read the Nankaba meeting FIFA president. Inti no real goat.
So
the
goat is gone.
The goat is gone. But the celebration of the goat remains unabated. Inti echinyebi eno.
We and the world of football remembers Pelé forever as well. And for this reason, of course, we pay tribute to him by being here. We pay tribute to him by asking all the federations now to pay a minute of silence and tribute to Pelé. But we're also going to ask every country in the world to name one of their football stadiums with the name of Pelé. We need to make sure.
Okay.
Betanechi. Se start kribi omba boy. The ohoda than the Baba Yaramudin de dazo. You have people from that omba boy na senior fan to Pelé. Absolutely. Sa grone bae no de nyina agi tum se onim di pa na odidi ni ye no se de obo no ato ne sa afre na me feel say nkebeye se betimi say ekroma bebreji die say the greatest of all time in our football is Abedi ono kra kofa Pelé na ato no so what I say Abedi Pelé nti achinye bi ani ho he's the deal areho say okosa brewe but sa na beye at the age of 84 dear I think 82, sorry. The Nyankopon Edina Bidra no. daachima bɛba abɛtie sɛ ɔpanyin bi ba yɛ football no ɛbɛpim ne deɛ ɔno ɛbɔbɔ ne yie paa nyame ato ne nsa afrɛ no of course po benedict nso so kɔ wei pele deɛ no
pele deɛ na zero beto die ne mu no mu de
Stadio Villa Bimero
come yɛni hwee ka the goat is gone.
The goat is gone.
Yeah. He's the man who defined the World Cup. Now, a man who was born just 52 years after the abolition of slavery. Ewa Brazil, Mickey. So, on the date of 13th May 1888, and I abolished slavery Ewa Brazil.
Okay.
So 52 years later, he will Pele, which was 1940. So he grew up watching Brazil 1950 World Cup. And he saw his father, who's a nani papa player? João Ramos Dodinho do Nascimento. So who said nani papa soon after say Brazil lose against Uruguay. When they hosted the World Cup, na Pele promised him, say in future I will bring the trophy back home. 8 years from 1915, which was 1958. At 17, Mickey, now the dude was good enough to win Brazil its first World Cup title. And he did it in grand style by becoming the first teenager, as at age 17, to score a goal in the final of the World Cup. Now, 20 years from 1950, which was 1970, Noah defining the name of Brazil. And he had made Brazil to be known on the global calendar. Yes, you can talk about Omo blazing the trail, Omo setting the pace. Ewo Omai Bia, who say, Mickey, say, Oka Sembia, Ubo Omai Bia, there is one person who bet me who say, Oye synonymous to this country. Ebia, Obo Ghana, you cannot talk about anyone without talking about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. When you talk about US of A, you cannot talk about anything without talking about the Washington. Said that unity. So you cannot talk about Abraham Lincoln and all those people. So when Brazil debout Trima Mickey
Pele,
that's it. Brazil debout Tima Edson Arantes do Nascimento Pele. Now Mickey, this was a player who in 1961 the president of Brazil called Gianni Quadros. Emma passe bill. Say ye map team bia ma metopeli and free Brazilian Kobebia. He was seen as a national treasure. This was the level this man, the nobleman Pele, Eddie football ekoye. In it, yes. He's seen as a national treasure. And Mickey, by 70s, around 75, or signing contract with New York Cosmos. It was worth $6 million at that time. Who take it time value of money? And they are around $34 million. Who the future value and a time value of money? This was what Pele was doing. The greatest ever. He is the man who has blazed the trail, who has set the pace. And football, the BI Bekaino. Yes, Brazil passed through a disputed elections. So just 2 days ago, you swear in Lula da Silva. After say defeated this former president, after so defeated, it was a dispute. So and it needed to take Pele's death to unify Obiawo and Pele Ako. And this is the man who has defined the beautiful game of football by bringing the name of Brazil on the footballing calendar. And his name will forever be remembered. Pele Eterno, Sanomoka. Yeah. Pele is eternal. The greatest ever is gone. Mickey.
Okay. Yedi si yebeda nwaba yeba the local stories awodo enso ebebremahai Kessben 93.3 and wasuguso awutie no na wasaso share live o Kessben television so yeba sisi ani ato aso. We'll be right Wasugusa wutie ne anopei. Se said ye beko Newton late ho na fei what did you hobiano and so the mind Newton why ready anopei den na wo e de emaye.
Oheneba, good morning.
Good morning,
Premier League returning.
Yeah.
Now, Osha over the weekend, a lot of surprising scoreline and a buy. And of course, Hasfolk lose to Bechem United in a performance it me elevated Bechem from the mid-table. Edoma baby do top 4. To see a wasem other areas to sell drama so ehu Kumasa Santecotiko or pick a vital point. But first of all, Yendi the most surprising scoreline of the weekend. Bechem United are Ottawa Accra Hasfolk Cape Coast Stadium based on the fact that Accra Sports Stadium no enyanya ready for football action. Pitch no IBB Kakra. But game no air question no who say you observe some minutes of silence. Edema arguably one of the greatest players of football ebetimi ehu in the name of Edson Arantes do Nascimento in Pele. Onona observing minute of silence Edmano. What I really observed will be Bechem and Hasfolk game. Now look at something here. Now Hasfolk bought in a formation like the diamond with Ben York and Obin Jr. in the final third, like 2 strikers. Made them for no so Ubenya Salifu Ibrahim so won't feel be. But they lost great of that midfielder, not just always Hasfolk. Midfield now a more very dominant power from last 2 seasons under coach Samabuadu. Even this season under Matic, they've always shown say the 4-4-2 diamond was Salif Ibrahim at the tip of the base. So realizing something, say always Hasfolk caught the final third. Or more try say or more pushy or more lateral, and their support or more offensive trip. But Osha at this point, you have about just 2 players per anywhere. I mean, make 2 centre backs in Sowa and Zachary. So these 2 players, at this point, Nubabusa said full backs, the left back in Okan and then the right back Samuel Inkum. So for Bechem United, it's always been the 4-3-3 where we have 3 quality forwards. Obenya Konkoni Wahase, Obenya Emmanuel Avonyo and Cephas Mante, the new young chap getting the 5th goal of the season. So Bechem a parody with 3 quality strikers. Now, one thing I was actually so game room say always now Hasfolk lose balls in the middle of the pitch, where Bechem United sat very deep in a 4-1-4-1. So we say back 4 no, and I say no about Benya attacking 4 na air body Vest guy as a lone DM, and then you have Hafiz Konkoni as a lone striker. So the shield and the focus 4-1-4-1 no now a year Juma without the ball for Bechem United. What you need to realize the counter attacking situation now Hasfolk Omota put you in. So you have about 1, 2, 3, 4 players of Bechem United. How many players of the rainbow colors can you find here? Just 1 in Zachary. So as a has air call Bechem United so now but whenever they lose the ball in 10 overs, not just say almost structure no individually. Now talking about Okan and I say Zachary, he's the only defender left. So count to Bechem, you have another 2 Bechem players here. No one has Zachary Pedawa. At this point, but the first thing he did was to analyze the movement of Ayi. But at this point, Ayi can in no way join this defensive trip. Based on the fact that you have 2 players. So on moving from box on another send go area or bar at the assembly. So and the second view of Zachary, they say, or 10 shares fast man in possession. Now the ref is a Konkoni, agent cheaper. And this is the kind of delicate situation. I don't know about say we a lone defender. At this point, a better Rich Ayi Epiaba. Or Piaba, you have Konkoni here. And so when PSO Ama or narrow angle no at the massive fast man. Brilliant connection from Sevan Mante. Look at that delivery. And Babi or the border to it. I mean, no connection from Ayi whatsoever. Because Babi Ojinano, as a goalkeeper, first of all, I keep saying it's a boy you're considering in sequences. They lost the ball in midfield. They couldn't recover. You have about 2 players as against 1 defender. And of course, the goalkeeper himself. But at this point, Babi or the body free banner. That is the position of Okan. Okan is back there or attack when Timia recover ye. Now the second thing, a DM eso ewa hefa. So that area now lose Okan, asaso lose eso, and it forced Zachary to open up and cater for that angle. But Nechipe na Konkoni Hafiz so Odenechi. And this was another second goal. So first goal no the right side of the channel for Bechem United, which is the left back position in Okan area. But at this point, this is Samuel Nkum's position, right back. And Hasfolk also lose ball. So in the transition to attack for Hasfolk, they kept losing the balls. Now, to me, in my view, this is the best one-on-one situation. Masha away league will say. And for the second time, how many players of Bechem United can you count here? 1, 2, 3, 4. As against 3 for Hasfolk. Even with that 3, 2 per and a walk just ahead of the ball. So this guy here is never part of the mathematics or the equation. In Bafi is out of the equation. But you have about just 2 players, Insoa and then Zakaria from All Blacks. These 2 players pen Akachi. So Matic, what is really your structure, especially when you lose the ball? Because for the second time, I mean, one of the best one-on-one situations are Ubehu. And you can count about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players for Hasfolk. But trust me, Oheneba, they don't have the control of the situation. Control, we said here, Emmanuel Avonyoho, because he has the ball in possession. But one thing was the movement of Hafiz Konkoni. Nobody catered for his movement right from deep midfield onto set or connected ball now or the 2 move. Now talking about where they lost the ball, then you'll be asking a question, say Hafiz Konkoni or Hefa. This is Hafiz Konkoni, the position. Now you really need to understand, say, whenever you have situations at hand like this, or your recovery processes is so limited, especially when you have to deal with a player like Emmanuel Avonyo. Look at that one-on-one situations against Zakaria. I mean, at the said Messi, Eddie Jerome Boateng, he wanted to dribble inside and not dribble outside. You can't be defending set situations, especially when attacker knew a lot about profile where Ofilisa had the ball. They had a consolation goal through Salifu Ibrahim. And it was all down to, set pieces and free kicks. One of them, Bechem United would have to be very much careful. In fact, if a person will stay or top 4-1, they won the first ball. Goalkeeper didn't that form. You've seen their goalkeeper here. And this pace within the box, and I'm going to drop it the second ball. But kudos to their recovery men. This ball was never on target. It was blocked. But what you need to realize is how we're dealing with the first ball and then the second ball. In defending situations, every single position of the ball is so vital. And Bechem United and Shannon so because from this corner, they considered from that same pattern. First ball will be dealt with, but where is the second ball? It's at the back of the net from the foot of Robert Soa Ado, Hasfolk defender. So Bechem couldn't deal with the second ball, but Soa was at the right spot, at the right position, and with a weaker foot, and or bury this ball at the 2 at the back of it. So that is a ball in the position of no man's land, I should say, and a Soa kill this ball. There was another game a course so Eldoma, and if a Brennington so over to us, hopefully Nyame add much now, we can bring that game and the little tidbits a Sekotoko Edi Hujwa, and that's the game we have. So if Oheneba say, oh Brenna to us or Daruma Ewo say
Kotokoni Diana game no twaso yenhwe no susu.
All right, so Oheneba Osha Doma game now, it's always been a game for the history books. Kotoko Ever City Doma has always been a very, very tough fixture. The rivalry has been established. And any moment, Biana pick a point out of this fixture, Yana a very, very good at the mouth. For Kotoko to lose a goalkeeper like Dan Ladd, it was like a panic at the first place. Again, we say Sena Ebeko, but they did their best and making sure say every single actioner Bechem put in place. Sorry, Adriana put in place our pitch. They had an antidote, especially through that young chap Frederick Asari. He joined the club last season and now or panic mode because in and out of the ball, not or panic or try so she said the defense and but one thing I make Shannon so power game no say Adriana kept knocking each and every time on Beba box room, and especially chunk part of their chances were created from set pieces and yet from open play. Open play they're not into me Kotoko, except one of these few issues where crosses were sent into the box. But Kotoko would have to be very careful. I mean, how they defend within their box and show Nyama Bebre one over to attribute to make us a technical inconsistency. And now a Mubarak and a Justice Blay, or China a Mubarak and Yapo, or China a Pony Maxwell. So this kind of foundation building inconsistencies, it will defense or and not dear Buakotokopa. Now look at this chance. I'll take you back in a while and talk about this chance at Kotoko. It's me man or more a defense and allow how many players can we count here from Adriana? So if there should be a quality cutback like it happened, then you are considering from this angle. Then two, Oheneba, so we'll share it closely. Ebani say no, we are asking a question of the position of the goalkeeper. Now, at this point, say me busa one key question. What I say, the position of Frederick Asari. Emmanuel M. placing who he defended this ball. So he's just at the first pole. And these are some of the situations yet you have about 3 players here who are at the position of receiving a very, very quality ball from the cutback. Now, Eban is saying, how do you defend this as a goalkeeper? You have been exposed by your structure. So I think going forward, Kotoko took a point out of this game, but there were a lot of warning signs. And some percent, in fact, or more actually say, and now I think Oheneba, they should do a lot about it. One-on-one situations, it was quite easier to maneuver their way through for Adriana. They really used a lot of flanks in terms of their chances creation. And now I have to you see, say Justice Blake or struggle so bit me recover. And of course, they got a point out of Doma, but I think going forward, their left and then right channels, those laterals, would have to be worked on, repair certain things. And Sana Omatimi, I said, Adriana did their best, but in fact, Kotoko also did a lot of work on about Etimima Munya at this point at the free honorable buyer. And there were a lot of things Adriana Ayen right, especially across the length of the game. But points from Doma, it's like 3 points. I think Kotoko did well. Oheneba, your first game is so insure.
Yay, Newton Latte, and Yetini can Kotoko versus Adriana Stars and the goalless, and then has a work and Sony Bechem United 2-1 in favor of Bechem United and Newton de analysis a day abreno seseno say and kwakwa brekum Chelsea ne baby any goal star sebo goalless draw Tamale City eshe 2-1 against Great Olympics Kim Faisal etimishe Insuatramain 2-0 Samates any dreams ebo goalless out to you etimishe Kotoku Royals 3-17 Bechem atoso 9-16 has toso enum 16 points and Accra Lions and so 16 points. Relegation zone Kim Faisal 12, Tamale City 10 and Kotoku Royals womu etwato our league table so with just 4 points. And no any league table no City City. After the game has coach also GDSA womu share a very good opponent and namso and a womu timi edi nkuku but has any chances. Coach Matic.
I wanted to come.
Wey ayen seba coach Matic editu ja coach Kase Mengelo so ojedi sabre matcha o ma free FA Cup o ma free no league na ni so mu diago ni ntro mu ko league ni mu amoko has game no with attack mentality no coach Kasim editu ja bra game ne ba na wie ye ba Kotoko game no incident see ye abra empo no amanfo aka ho nsem bebre edefa Emmanuel Jemfi se okotua Kumasi Asante Koroko goalkeeper na referee no enhu ana ababonten pa trendy ye papa incident no ene show e wo Kessben television so manfo ka se Jemfi de of the ball no otaye sa anyama ne bi pa enso e wo ho eno ne ade a esiye during the game we so obeka we no obobo de makotoko eno so sa eno mo bo against Interlies yes Interlies eno so Jemfi the same thing and so our akensi no mu abra na womo akensi no and so koso sa antiamanfo gidi say of the ball no ana Jemfi o sheda na say akwai concern attendance akwai concern abra Kotoko boy Kumasi Sports Stadium virtually empty stadium no bia ni ho nipa kitu bi neto awo Kumasi where ye Cape Coast has enra obi any stadium ho obi bi mu gidi say adan say no ye football no eduru level be anase bronya ninti na manfo any stadium we Cape Coast Sports Stadium has versus Bechem United na stadium akoye empty sa akoye concern say no attendance no then was ye de fa ho na supporters etimiko agopamaso has abrante friend Salim Adams wodani ache United States of America ni nyina ne sabre one club Cincinnati na akoye juma Kobobo at the Amomo. Bechem United, womu goalkeeper Abdullah Idrisu. Ono say Azam FC and say wakwako pimoa wakwako sign deal at the ama Azam FC and also Tanzania. And so Dudona GDS sabre plus ni nyina no womu local amo Black Galaxies no e binya contract awodwa womu a free campo and so echo. The hu say Daniel Free Banye ono so yate se Switzerland ɛna ɔkɔ sorry Sweden ɛna ɔkɔ na wakɔkɔ si akan ɛnso ɛwɔ hɔ ɛno ne sɛdeɛ ɛsiti a sɛsɛ ne Jesse kra no ɛnso aba abɔnte a wahyɛ Jesse bi a ɛno nso so trending ɛwɔ social media. But the Black Galaxies yɛmfa nto gya sɛ team no adomani from Egypt adomani akyerɛ Algeria ɛhɔ ne bia atɔ na Morocco ɛnso ɛna ɛbɛbɔ. Ghana Football Association mo biem transfer window no ɛde ato ɛnra wɔ Breman Astroturf wɔn pa ho ntoma sɛsi a meka sɛ ɛyɛ honorable Kennedy Japan on that Ghana Gas or Ghana Gas board chairman okopie mu obi ema dwumedie ne timi koso where ye dwumedie a lawyer John Dakun wono why na dwe say wo pese oba no be MP awo eye soame ho wono ena develop artificial pitch on Ghana Gas kabo mom timi develop artificial pitch enso ewo Breman e de ma Breman fo nyina a wo mo eba be yisu honorable Kennedy Japan Ghana Gas board chairman Okasai.
Nyame someone say Obama Ekoye Afia Abbey Ekoye Ebepa constituency ha. Na amefefa aba Brema hai. Nukwini Nakasa na Ekuwa. Hey! Ya nukwini biya na mekato.
Well, John Daku, and you should be so celebrated. Was so warm, put him on you so be in a show crowd. So boy said a beer. You bet my Yama Buama, I have consistencies, no. It will be developing ye pa. Well, young fan, no, so the entrance of Kumasa Santico Cabrantia Brian Di Brugnano, Christopher Netti, Kumasa Santico on the contract to the Banavio, don't be a beer, Sabran to the better standing the contract on the Makotoko, but one standing 7,000 and now a Brantini demanded from Kotoko as monthly salary and a Kotoko Jena 5,000. So metia 5,000. Now OJ 7,000 a month or also per signing on fee. So my money signing on fee. Kotoko said there be say there interest signing on fee. Say make us has any dreams and any Christopher Nete Edin Komo said the Beya obetimi adjoining Satu clubs. Now my man shall and friend free ho.
Kwame, they didn't kind of your league, you know, it's back in session. After the World Cup, everything is going well. Ushe teams in the Modimo so far. First of all, Diana versus Asante Kotoko was the topmost encounter in the 10th week. Boy, now it looks like Diana is losing their home invincibility against Asante Kotoko. Like first, no Kotoko Kwana Kotoko. Last season it was 2-0. In favor of Asante Kotoko, and this time around goalless. But I think it's an improved performance from Adriana. What it to last season there, no. Let's be very honest. Pakwesi Fabian has done a very good job on this Adriana squad. Obefa team, he made some comment which some of us even felt say a bit disrespectful to some of the teams, and then Omuana Omuanenim. But the Adriana Stars is on top of the league. Some 2 points separating them from the second position team, that is Asante Kotoko. And I think Adriana is doing well. And as we speak, Ubetuma Kase, Omuye one of the contenders for the league. House of Oak, Kwame, so when you break almost starting 11 now, a clear set coach, you know, was on a relegation zone, Dano. Yana in recent times, they are being, but I think they are climbing up. Almost started very, very poorly. But then Kim Faisal led assistant. You won't say so much say bad about it. Now the incident I see Eldoma Hinkro. And on a Jemfi on a Richard goalkeeper Asari. My chef me tie other comment from 1 or 2 people omo a share born be life omo say Asari etia Jemfi and sana Jemfi eba abe reacting. But from the footage, it is so clear Jemfi was coming from a distance. Obabi Titia Asari Naso. Minim what that explanation anywhere. See, be a nusi baby I came in the answer early part of the game somewhere, Krana. Whatever it is. from what we are seeing on the screen, this is not what you expect from a player, a friend Emmanuel Jemfi. Or free distance. No aba. Abeti player and also. Asare didn't react. My problem with Jemfi is say we share video yi say any internalize now. My main kind verdict about one thing.
Why me and sound?
Yeah.
Where come on me and
I think he did one or Boasi or so.
Yes, where Bakuni.
The most dangerous of Obuasi there no. You see, I was at Obuasi. Yeah, I was at Obuasi. Kotoko Ashanti Good.
Yeah, we.
Otia aboy no na so. Otia just say nyanse bi anim. Nyanse nim. Complete madness. Nyanse bi anim. Because born no found here.
Keep a boy in at the crowd. Unprovoked. Can you imagine this? Na wrestler crabby na yonko wrestler see. Jemfi did this.
Yeah.
And okoye wo internalize. And why na doma hin crew. The strange thing is doma the referees in so man. Me wa na ball.
So we sir.
We so so man.
But no je fin faso de trainer so.
Eh dia no mo trainer so. Internalize there no. Me kai say na me ka say share a regulations anymore enim entina others aye bia yankohwe footage amfa sa asotwe na yeden ama. But then this is somebody aye verdict atwena so ye twena so wie na man warning hwe verdict no. Let me just read the last part. Fourth one. Emmanuel Jemfi is warned that any future misconduct shall receive a more severe punishment.
But that punishment we the man punishment be.
We internalize there now.
Emmanuel
Jemfi is found guilty of the charges. 2. A fine of 1,000 Ghana cedis is hereby imposed on Emmanuel Jemfi, according to blah. Emmanuel Jemfi is hereby handed a 1-match ban.
Okay.
In accordance with Article 12B and all that. Now, fast forward, Jemfi again.
Obviously, me catch us now Sheniye. Francis Eddie kind in a left foot no. Etia Jemfi. Goalkeeper no. Odi kind tiano.
Footage area.
Aye, sano obi dia ba say left foot no. Odi tia Jemfi and
it does not justify the Jemfi.
Internet Jemfi mean no.
Yeah. In the video Umusa Brant and right foot rather.
Yeah, right foot no.
Right foot rather.
Odi tia Jemfi.
Video now. Say
Jemfi naso
and a Jemfi so step in
twice.
You see, I'm hoping they will look at this and then may dwelling more on Jemfi because this is a 3rd time offender, and in football reaction cries are more dangerous. Say ubi a chawa na ubi a tia na wa reacting. I saw Usha footage now who Asari Deno. Who's that make us will be a rare born be catcher him?
Yeah.
Asari Tia and also first.
Yeah.
If you look at it, I'm thinking that say FNO will be interested in this. They will look at the two. If Asari deserve some form of punishment, he should be given. But Jemfi's own should be severe because this is a 3rd time offender. It is well documented. Say he's noted for these things. Surprisingly. Once again, our referees didn't see this, and it's so sad. Come, me last speak on the Galazies. Me feel sorry for. I feel sorry for coach. What they saying?
Ano Walker.
The players, you know, or no my training, but they are leaving. The transfer window is open. Having drew so near Frau Sebra. One sound kufi so oja Bible into Kofa. What they call they having into a Bible. Inti se heavy eduru na besin kwa ukofa Bible ayeden inti boys na wo honum deal ni ba ombeko bibri beko on kase bi mpo a wo twen ze onko bo chan nemra inti emma coaches ni situation ni ye quite dicey eduru sabri a management we adwuma ye I mean kai the number it's a 25-man squad no de koy and you don't even know who is leaving. For example, free a ban here no me one player o de koy name won pa ye free a ban here. What's in the situation? No? Apart from say, potential bit me leave no one has contract as soon 31st of December. And me Kaiser GM5 president became maybe read the article no say you should have a running contract with a Ghanaian club and being a Ghanaian before he can compete for Ghana in the Chan tournament. Intina I just say free ebeja to no akono. Not just I does obey renew for Hearts of Oak and now be sign for a particular local club and Sanoye qualified to play. He goes there now, they say he's leaving. I think he should have owned out. Because I'm not sure so could win a deal. No? Bye-bye.
Okay, Fred.
Mami finish baby Frank. Mami started with Frank career.
Yeah.
The kind of every year has renewed the Hearts of Oak. Albeit very short contract.
What signed with
yes,
us?
The information I have, he signed with Hearts of Oak till the middle of February, which will make me eligible to participate in the tournament.
That's a good news.
What I say, because baby Okono, they have until the end of Ekoko, I think 23rd or 20 something of February to do registration, register more players. Baby Opeso Okono.
Okay.
And he has renewed it for us. Then I'm agitated for you. Remember the other day I was so emotional.
So sign.
Clubs not taking players are taking advantage of the clubs. I am not for NTSA. What in China also and this club account. No. And I said it. I said, in my opinion, I think a free Bani has benefited from Hearts of Oak than say Hearts have benefited from no. Because you see, he's been so lucky with the national teams.
Yeah.
Because he's a good player. But in Diawajinano, partly with national team than Hearts of Oak. What they put together was about how many seasons? 2 or 3 seasons. For the goals of our Hearts of Oak together. Nowhere over not fine average over 3 years nowhere. So and now I want to praise him. And then I'm admonishing today. I want to praise a free band here and then handless. So Motia say so more best than my Hearts of Oak. I'll be short contract, but I know my Hearts of Oak benefit here. I'm speaking purely from the information I have. What do I say? Speaking purely from the information me wo. Say. Now what is left in Sankofono pay medicals. They want him to obey any medicals because they want to be certain. At the time now almost especially to some person almost sign and almost the health situation because we are not tournament no Kupra, which will be a different matter. So that's it. They would want to conduct medicals before tournament China best start.
Okay.
So as to say Bahwa now they will set up some medical facility in Nigeria, Mumbai, and I'm for about Mumbai and I say or Ben Dashia medicals or something whatever. The bottom line is that he's a registered player of Hearts of Oak for the duration of the competition in Nigeria. If he has extended the Hearts of Oak till the middle of February. And none a guarantee Hearts of Oak so Mubenya what I would put say transfer fee. The Heart is actually earning, making money from the transfer. Then first none of per se or call for free a Hearts of Oak in Yashi. But see a Hearts of Oak and all the supporters will give you or more blessing there some of them out. And Hearts of Oak is
now Kase I was saying coming out with supporters.
Yes.
Not attempt the deal.
Yes, you sit down and negotiate. This is a negotiation, purely negotiation. I'm negotiating and I'm told Hearts of Oak is earning $150,000 from zero. From $0 to $150,000. Then we bet me there to talk players be there replacing. Now to bet me there baby, which is positive. Today I want to praise the free and any management for understanding to extend for Hearts of Oak. They could have found any club to sign for. I see local league. With my Sanama Division 2 kra Akobochan. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Our Division 2 club they say free here Sanama mo. Me register me. Remember $5,000 for Division 2 obeje. What must I say? Remember 5,000 remember Sahari could have done that. Because the contract they will 31st. You be window 1st January. And he could have signed for any club in Ghana. Say me free me more 5,000 sign me. Ina ontim kobo chan. Obo we are not kokon baby oko. But he renewed it Hearts of Oak till the middle of February. I bet my man abadi no. Nti I want me person me fair no and fan tunche. And Frank said yes it is true those players no that Brighter Jane I think was one Evans Owusu also. There was another player.
Evans Oseiusu
all of them in Amaka coach in the plans so. But their management insists say no it's so moko. What I say because I'm coaching plan how do moko but their management insists say so moko. Untimi force it. We coach or if we want or so or there's very little you can do. Just say umo bet money negotiate umo bet Matthias here in the case of a free band any other players no money negotiate for them to play the tournament and some we are so mbokwa na omo ako. But that's the situation. I really hope say the coach is able to players no more honor and answer the away from my account. So Nyame Evans Owusu ne but again it no be far other players do Suraj no one before mo replace those.
I think it was Masolata.
And there's a third player.
I can't look. Could you add the or something? They
lose you. Karela.
The almost found that player said at the Kokan we say no. So I'm hoping the coach would be able to prepare a team name. You see, the clip which I'm sure nature say, fairness, I must say, go Kapano etia.
Eddie Kentia Jenfi.
You see, any justification in football, any justification. We meet my viewer who call retaliate pay. One near Bapa punish you.
Lawyer Combo officer, on also have footage now. Jenfi Raniba Bitia winners.
Me so now okay, we cannot the coin cry. Eddie can the Jenfi the American the coin fan. And this is a guy with the reputation. Important too.
And justice
pattern
still not.
Yeah, we let him read the idea. I'm the lawyer Nabamu has say. So reputation of something a different from will be for a first time
offender.
And we bet me plead. We say plea. Me be that be as so why now patch our court. But we are the end of our court. You do to back on we are the no abandoned, but who could be able to the judge and be catch it. Tis an identity.
Okay.
It is when you just and I read something I say a statement. I don't know. I say I'm rendering an unqualified apology to all football loving fans for the incident against Frederick Asari. But everyone should go and watch the full clip to make judgment. They should not rely on the few seconds video to make wrong judgment. Justice Blair had even asked me, Justice Blair had even asked me to calm down and said he saw the goalkeeper kicking my ankle. But I asked him to go and talk to his goalkeeper before saying anything to me. I will be disappointed if the GFA punishes me without any punishment to the goalkeeper. First of all, he's accepting punishment from the GFA.
Yeah.
No, but on the disappointment, I say if you punish offense of Frederick Asari. That's up to the justification. So much charges just Frederick Asari and to me and my explanation to whatever. Then he can go. And then now also Justice Blair had even asked me to calm down. Now look at what happened between him and Justice Blair. And I know on the survive now.
On the survive on the castle on any didn't come.
And you are happy saying this. Say Justice Blair bound to catch yourself, bruv. Now to turn here. And I didn't see.
Yes.
So if indeed Justice Blair call so no, son of a catcher say Nyantuboasia no unuse goalkeeper 8 hours. Now to turn here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Why? I don't need or hot ways are. So the goalkeeper no kunto kwa na mutete amokra na Justice Blair aba. No pian kon just say jai Nyantuboasia ma hu me goalkeeper no kra 8 hours.
You to no twede ana waje no.
Dabi, look at it. Let's send the idea. So over down in our call. You don't want to say. Anyway, this is it. Then you 1, 2. Yeah, the idea. Send the idea. So I don't want them can't tell me I'm interested. No, send the idea when you can interest. And look at what he did to James Akamenko. You could have a bit my head to know. Look at what he did to James Akamenko. Obuasi. And look at what he did to, Can you imagine? These are what clips so. Now they come and charge to any way. They come and charge any. They come and charge way. So
we referee or back the rest of the season. So footballer can.
Now I think this one the referee didn't see and the FA punished the referee or something. I've forgotten, but there was something.
He went scot-free.
And now idea no. Intelligent when the FA punish Jamfi, Kotoko supporters FA time Kotokontina FA. But look at him. Any subai.
Mekaipa, Kotoko fans na nyanjum kra.
Including management, I think they wrote something.
Because there was the internal maker said there were similar incidents of the ball incidents before went unpunished.
Yeah, but I'm saying sir,
at the time there were several of the ball incidents of that nature that went unpunished.
Sane na weni bamuno.
But when na bemuno, if he hokono, yenya he said we are saying.
But that time no Kotoko supporters and management they didn't agree.
About
the ruling, no, they didn't agree.
At the time there were several other of the ball incidents which FA turned blind eye on.
Okay.
Okay. But when we know, Osekufuko ye bi obechemu no, he was also punished. Okay, Osekufuko. Oye the tia Kotoko player, he was punished. Until now we have the foundation.
Okay.
Tieniye, I've told you, said I'm happy said lawyer was listening. Sometimes you had the reputation to me influence judgment. Reputation. Usubaya odenam. So it me influence judgment. It could even happen. So we bibi. no unpa kroko ya de na sebi ni ampanishina na se beba na ekitu abi ba okoye the same thing na punishment so nti repetition is important. Repetition is very, very important. And can when you na boom. Na funny say even if Frederick Asari or whatever the name is on no class stamp on one, do you expect the same thing for the two of them? You will not. Until one way na influence it. Now we throw apology and now we can't apology. You are justifying their way here. Say Frederick Asari yes, and in a way sir. And nam kadi acho mutin kwa Frederick Asari yes and kwano. No so nine. No be who say obi abetiawo. Ne ehunu say one pa ka wasasa obi tia akra wan tia ni bi but in the situation obi nyo hwekura kotia wo no
Fred yem for attendance so attendance no
well, it's a problem.
No problem.
It's a problem because you
then
see
the courses are
the oka say bronya ni one then ga bronya kwa no for holidays say nenam sentin kwa no because if you love football bronya aba wo holiday wo nkwa adwuma no kwa na say otimiko. I think that together all stakeholders we must make an effort enya ni na GF nkwa o clubs also must make an effort.
Clubs and then also my
oh listening now so you have to publicize the game. So
Matthew Musika kaka towards them with the publicize the game. You publicity.
And your music.
And sponsorship no budget is not for the clubs. And your music. Matthew kaka they are towards them with the publicity. We are not seeing the publicity.
Do not generate argument.
I'm saying that the FA has earmarked some amount of money.
You had the floor. I don't want to be doing this 2023. Until now, Casa be a meeting, so make us in our person. TNE and your musica. First of all, obe sponsor the no. Se come the best sponsor the. Now so I don't best sponsor no. Person making impact. And I'm saying, Mesa committee say at the publicity. And it does not mean it can belong to do you understand it?
Doesn't belong to the club.
Yes. Okay. Maybe sponsor league, you know. Se come the best sponsor league in 1 million and 10 cedis. But then I'm saying person making impact no. When say at the end make effort. And I'm saying Mesa committee Misika 10 cedis and 5 cedis and they USA. That doesn't mean the money belong to them. Do you get it? Until sometimes
internet
is people listen to us on radio.
Publicity no.
Maybe I say a hit you.
Publicity.
Kind of must set aside say omu be publicity no. Oh no, they should push it. They should push it. Maybe where a target areas na side the corner and coho. And I say strategy no mo dey publicity no. It could be wrong. Into what do you need? So trans with all the stakeholders. Then together we can discuss. How best a bit may improve publicity. Na enya effect on attendance.
And the clubs no so.
And because aside that no, because you see the number of people on stadium is proportional to Susi Kabenya gate. So what must say?
Yeah.
And as much as say FA link one say a publicity about the match no. It's almost on you as a club to also do some publicity for your game. Now it's with me a genetic kakra. And I don't think say
now quick one Nafe
the decline and they say this is a league I see at Sika 1 million. See the people I say league. We who publicity. We don't see it. It is attendance and conforma. That is our first point. Baby says and Sika anyway. Scan anything. How are we using it to publicize it? We want to see. Is the obvious question anybody will ask. We are no free honoma. Me feel say publicity no clubs na ankasa major reasons. And no parego has of publicity. Has of me and Madam Fonon. You call Tunis or man baby crada. Michana your friend roommate. But I think say opera is over relaxed. Now there are several media guys on back catchers over free me and several times on fa.
Kotokoso
Me free oba.
Oh, okay.
Kotoko de no. Near Kosono. A dead DP face. I dream no more the tongue food trim say social media and the be publicized no. I don't assume. Kotoko publicity. Say, and who hears on the radio for Bekasa? And who hears say Obama Muhammad Alasan ne Hamza Mus credit near the no more radio station akokasa. And who hears say Obama credit no more their friend radio so I can see a match in the Ekobo. And who hears say Obama or the same those times now men some money are there the unya flyer now the two social media and crop for beba. That is what they told us. Who follow ya say there your Twitter account you verify nipa do a dear training. Look, those who are following you on Twitter, they are living in New York, Boston, Texas, Virginia, some of them are in Manchester. No matter how over publicized, no to me, my baba yara. Inti sa uhwe o de to on nkrofo mobile aba so social media no. Now say no na de be the yardstick than sidie no na stadium no. Kotoko was playing Brikum Chelsea.
Yeah.
At Baba Yara Sports Stadium on a holiday. Unum the entire England for almost say Christmas yenko break no. Nkrofo bebre enko adwuma.
Of a time aso.
Nti sa bre no na oton ade yeto. Nti sa oton no sa time no.
Ni antode
ya. Na antode ya. Minhu se the last time Kotoko enya less than 1,000 crowd. Kotoko versus Bichim less than 1,000 and the koye. This is a King Faisal crowd.
Okay, yeah, fancy Andy, quick one, my Andy.
Some short messages was
Andy Brem na me my Freddy Subrem. Yenteme.
Doris. My Doris or my praise be primary, my or Fadi, and then birthday me wishing a happy birthday.
Okay.
Also na friend sister, Priscilla Usu or your midwife. Ononsia wishing a happy birthday.
Okay.
Sansona Abrempon Sports Academy, all money Red Angels, the boom. Ewa Fijasia Crochet, about 12 p.m. Yeah.
Mate. Fred, also.
Just test message. We're from Kala. Because if the fourth referee didn't see Jemfi's incident, then what was their duties? If the four referees, four referees, didn't see Jemfi's incident, then what was their duty on the field of play?
Were they sleeping?
No, but baby, no me me so park so referees phone into where there's not of This is the player after stepping on the foot, throwing punches on Justice Blay. At time they should have seen it. But talk with and answer they can be forgiven. But time no just play here because I'm told to say this is another text message. I'm reading only text. Good morning, boss. This is Hot FM Prince. Mean kind of but my senior Hot FM Prince. Jeffrey has even admitted that his hand hit the eyes of Blay and has apologized to him after Blay confronted him during the game. He can't see clear after Jeffrey's hand hit him. So no. This is from Nanaya, also your land or your estate agent. How can such a player be blessed by God with a professional deal? So some of these things you do, you think you will say so. You see a lot of messages and how people are.
Time aso yentimi ntwa dwumadi ani so biom ye besan so no ma hie biom ye na ma se samohwe dwumadi